a lot lighter than what we expected. And the lift through the 87 metres continues until she is approximately 30 metres below the surface. At that point, we deploy air divers and secure the lifting wires to the actual hull by means of clamps and further blocks and tackles and wire shackles. She is then lifted to sea level and drained as far as possible on that point. We never lift them straight out of the water. They're always left in the water because it makes a lot easier for handling and keeps a lot of weight in the slings to give stability.
The Sapphire finally broke surface at around 12 minutes after 11, after a very slow lift up through 87 metres of water.
It's a very eerie moment, and I have felt exactly the same emotion on each occasion when I've done these lifts. It is a strange feeling of remorse to see the vessel so helpless, which used to be a powerful fishing vessel. The emotion of watching the water throw her around and batter her is, again, a feeling of despair.
The sea swell was beginning to increase again, and there was now a major problem in getting inside the vessel. The decision was taken to inform the Coast Guard, ASCO base and the police that the barge was bringing the Sapphire into Peterhead Harbour to continue the search in safety for the missing crewman. The Tacliff 7 arrived back in Peterhead at 6:25 p.m. on the evening of the 14th. Work continued right through the evening, and by 25 minutes past midnight, in the morning of the 15th, the bodies of all 4 of the crew members had been recovered.
And of course, on the evening, having reached Peterhead and identified that we had completed our task in total, having recovered all the crewmen, we were overjoyed at that point. We were not overjoyed with the task we had to fulfill, but we were overjoyed that we had complete the job.
The decision was taken to get some rest with a view to sailing later in the day to return the Sapphire to the site where she had gone down.
We had a very tight weather window, which we identified over a period of days, and that moment of lift and the moment of moving was timed precisely to coincide with current changes, weather changes, and the overnight stay in Peterhead was not planned as part of the operation because we made that decision on a safety basis at the last minute. However, to go back out and put her back where we had found her, everybody on board was feeling rather lethargic. One of the issues that constantly gets raised between ourselves, Dronick, Schmidt, and the masters of these vessels is that we as a company and they as a company involved in salvage and casualty inspections have never ever been asked to raise a vessel from the seabed and place it back in exactly the same position. I find it incredible that we had to go to the extent of recovering the Sapphire only to be told to put it back where we got it.
She remained on course, and preparations to lower the Sapphire continued. But unfortunately, the Tacliff 7 was hit by a heavy swell at around 6:45 p.m.
We were not going to be able to fulfill the task of putting her gently down. I think we all agreed that if we got to the site, we would have to put her down so far and then drop her anyway. However, en route out to the position, the weather continued to deteriorate. It's clearly seen on the video where the TAC 7 takes a heavy knock and the Sapphire is is put severely against the bow of the TAC 7, which sends her into a bit of a turmoil. She fills with water very rapidly and begins to sink. We place her further in the water to take the strain. The sea is increasing, and we took a heavy dip into a trough. The vessel went down, the bow went down, the sapphire went down at the same time, and one of the wires parted.
The forward sling on the Sapphire broke, releasing her bow, sending her force majeure to the seabed at a position some 2 kilometers southwest from where she had first gone down. For the first time in maritime history, a vessel had been raised and its lost crewmen returned home for burial. Its mission over, the barge returned to Peterhead.
When we returned to Peterhead, the families invited us to a private gathering where they expressed their gratitude to everyone who was involved in the operation. If we were asked again to conduct a recovery programme, of course we would accept. I think both Schmidt and Dronick have proved the technical capability of lifting medium depth casualties from the seabed. We would, on the next occasion, take a lot more interest and have a larger say in what was being conducted on shore. I think some of the delays that were created were unnecessary.
Kijk hier. Wat een lichaam zeg. Kijk, en dan gaat ze bak vol, hè? Ja, dan wordt hij achteruit gezet, zag je dat? Ja. Ik weet nog wat andere.
Oh, wat een nette bemanning. Eén aan de front en de ander aan de spaardoot. En lekker.
Dat is een karretje ermee op. Oké, thank you.
De tweede bootman. En de eerste. En de kok. Een klein beetje water aan dek, maar dat moet kunnen. Daar komt de boei. even actieopnames.
Ja, ik zal even-
Kapitein,
ik zal even
Uk.
bewegen.
En dropje.
Ja, kan die? Boesroef.
Boesroof.
Alles Bokhout. Ja, we hebben hem gevonden hoor. Ja, mooi man. Ja, klaar voor je. Wij hadden stiekem een zaklamp eraan gebonden. Ja. Dat is de eerste filmopname zonder zware check. Weet je dat? Ja, ik ben gestopt met roken.
Alweer.
Dan stond het je binnen in de kamer weer.
En dan gaat Kuis. Die heeft de algehele leiding beneden. Dag Kuis. Maar dat hebben we er straks al gezien.